Good morning and peace be upon you, dear students. Praying for the auspicious physique of you to the omnipotent Allah, I welcome you all to my English world. I am Muhammad Abul Kalam Azad, lecturer in English, Khagrachoi Cantonment Public School and College. Today, I am before you with another complete lesson taken from English second paper regarding English grammar. It is about the uses of special phrases and words. One of the most facile and the easiest grammar lesson. So dear students, if you pay a little heed to, you can get 5 on 5 at ease in this lesson. Because here in this lesson, I have discussed only 20 phrases and words that usually come once and again to the board questions. So dear students, without making delay, let's go to the lesson now.
Number 12. But for. The phrase but for is used meaning to except or without. I mean, the phrase but for is used for saying that something would have happened if something else or someone had not prevented it. For example, we are owed to our parents. We would have not come to this world but for their help. I would have not passed in the exam but for your help. Thank you very much. Here in the first instance, we would have not come to this world but for their help. That means our parents help us to our birth. In the second instance, I would have not passed in the exam but for your help. That is, you helped me to pass in the exam. And so, the phrase but for is used in the sentences. Number 13. Unless. The word unless is used meaning to if not. It is used in conditional sentences instead of if not. The word unless can be used with present, past, and past perfect tenses. For example, read to learn. Unless you learn, you cannot get good grade. Work hard. He would not succeed in life unless he worked hard. Here in the first instance, unless you learn, you cannot get good grade. That means, if you do not learn, you cannot get good grade. In the second instance, he would not succeed in life unless he worked hard. That is, he would not succeed in life if he did not work hard. Number 14. It and there. Both the words it and there are used as a subject without giving their actual meaning. And just to introduce the sentence, I mean they serve as a placeholder subject in sentences with no identifiable actor. The word it is also used for a thing previously mentioned or easily identified. For example, English is a difficult subject. It is not easy to get good grade in English. There is a nice cascade in Khagrachari. Local people call it Risang Jharna. Here in the first instance, it is not easy to get good grade in English. The word it is used as a placeholder subject without giving its actual meaning. In the second sentence, there is a nice cascade in Khagrachari. Local people call it Risang Jharna. Here the word there is also used as a placeholder subject without giving its meaning. But the word it, here the word it is used for a thing. I mean instead of the cascade that is previously mentioned in the sentence. Number 15. In order to. The phrase in order to is used meaning to motive or purpose. After the phrase in order to, verb must be V1, I mean present form. For example, a thirsty crow was flying here and there in order to find water. Dela sold her here in order to buy a chain. Here in the first sentence, a thirsty crow was flying here and there in order to, I mean for the purpose of finding water. In the second sentence, Dela sold her here in order to, that means for the motive of buying a chain. Number 16. Whenever. The word whenever is used meaning to whensoever, indicating indefinite time. The word whenever is best used for repeated events or events whose date or time is uncertain. In other words, the word whenever can be substituted for every time that or at whatever time that in the sentence. For example, she laughs whenever she sees me. They are criminal, so they run away whenever they see the police. Where in the first sentence, she laughs whenever she sees me, means she laughs every time that she sees me. In the second instance, they run away whenever they see the police. That means they run away at whatever time that they see the police. Number 17. Would you mind? The phrase would you mind is used meaning to take a thing to mind. The phrase would you mind is actually used to ask for permission more politely, and after the phrase would you mind, the verb must be before. I mean, you have to add ing with the present form of the verb. For example, would you mind eating sea fish? I think you will enjoy a lot. Tomorrow is wedding ceremony. Would you mind sending me a list of everyone who is coming? Number 18. What do you mean? The phrase what do you mean is used meaning to mean something important. For example, backbiting is a great sin. What do you mean? What do you mean by backbiting? What do you mean? What do you mean? How can a rope bite a man? It is unbelievable. The phrase what do you mean is indeed used for asking someone to explain what he or she has said. Number 19. What's the matter? The phrase what's the matter is used meaning to ask any problem or about anything. For example, one evening I returned home groaning with a bad headache. My mother asked me, "What's the matter? What's the matter with you?" Here in the instance, mother asked me, "What's the matter with you?" That means mother wanted to know the problem for what I was groaning. Number 20. Instrumental adverb. Instrumental adverb is used meaning to clarify what the speaker or writer says. And an instrumental adverb is formed with a pair of comparative adjectives such as the older dash dash the more, the more dash dash the more, the sooner dash dash the better. For example, ask question to learn. The more question you ask, the more answer you will get. That means you are learning. Here in this tense, the more dash dash the more is used as an instrumental adverb in the sentence.